On today's Buckeye Roast, Ryan Day stepped up to the podium again, and we're breaking down the biggest takeaways from his press conference and what updates he did or didn't give us regarding some key injuries on Ohio State's team. Recruiting is still red hot with major momentum continuing to build late in the cycle. Ron and Q detail what to expect heading down the stretch. Across the country, we've got the top games of the week. Sam Levet looks like he's headed to another school. And finally, who deserves to be ranked higher, Notre Dame or Miami? It's time for the serious debate. I'm Chris Drew, and this is the Buckeye Roast with Ron and Q. Make sure you continue to like and subscribe.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. We are back for another episode of the Buckeye Roast. It's your boy Ron James here with my guy QP Ski. Q, how you doing?
I'm good. It was one of the loudest good mornings I've heard in probably like 3 weeks.
Did I scream in your ear?
It was on my computer. It was like, bro, I need to turn this volume down, but we're good.
I'm looking at the game. Do we need to restart the show? Should we try it again?
You sound good. You sound good.
Okay.
Just woke me up, but yeah, man, I'm good. I can't complain. We're hitting midweek point, so there you go. We're already at hump day, so getting over it. But a lot to talk about in college football. Obviously, the poll came out and stuff we're excited about, and the Buckeyes are on fire. So I can't complain over here. How are you?
I can't complain, Q, because I have breaking news.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen. Cannonball!
Q, our numbers were awful yesterday. And the only thing I can assume, could it be the fact that I set the tags terribly? Possibly. The more likely cause, the giggling ban. We're going to have to lift it. I can only assume the numbers on yesterday's show were so terrible because we implemented a ban on giggling, and it has to go.
That's you got to the bottom of it. We didn't laugh enough. Oh, yes.
No, not enough giggling. That's the giggling to view ratio. Clearly correlation there, and more giggling for this episode. So, Q, I wanted to start with a less serious topic to start the show. We've been heavy on our fast food conversation to begin the show, and I'm going to stick with it. A popular name that we've been seeing in the comments a lot is Raising Cane. So I have to ask Q. I put a poll out yesterday because of this question. When you order from Cane's, do you get coleslaw?
No. Even if I go higher, and I just I'm one of the people. I think coleslaw is a little bit gross. I just can't do it. It just doesn't look appetizing, and I get it. It's probably more healthy than some of the other stuff I order, but sometimes I'm like, that just doesn't look good. It's just like mayonnaise. Do I really not like mayonnaise? I don't know. If you snuck it with something, I could probably just eat it and be like, that was all right. They'd be like, oh, there's mayonnaise in there. I'm like, oh, there is. But if I see mayonnaise and it goes on the body, I'm like, nah, can't do it. So no coleslaw for me, extra fries.
We were talking about this in the Discord, and our guy Des says that he gets coleslaw, and everybody in the Discord laughed at him like, what? Like, everybody gets extra toast. What do you mean? Are you a serial killer? And I made the assertion that Cane's has never run out of coleslaw. Ever. There's never been a location where someone's pulled up and they're like, yeah, I just want to let you know on the front end, we're out of coleslaw. Like, that's never happened. I put it on a poll on Twitter. 91% of the voters currently say that Cane's has never run out of coleslaw. So that is our question of the day. And I just wanted to check with you and the audience. And let me know if personal experience, you ever been to Cane's and they're like, yeah, no coleslaw today.
I could imagine a world. Now, this is very unrealistic. But let's say the zombie apocalypse happens. You're working or you get stuck at a Cane's. All right. We got enough food to last a while. And you get to a point where it's like, all right, guys, we're out of chicken. We're out of toast. We're running low on fries. But we probably got enough coleslaw to last us like
There's no way. It would have spoiled before.
They're going to be like, yeah, we got to get out of here. Like, we got to risk our lives Get out of this place and find some salvation. No, guys, we have Coleslaw. We're good. No. No, the zombies can get us. We got to get out of here now. Got to make an attempt.
Yeah, there's no way that I'm like just hiding away in a cave with just some mayo lettuce. Like, I'm good.
Too funny.
Oh man, cute. Well, see, too much giggling already to start, but or maybe not enough giggling. Who knows? We have a show to get into, so let's do it.
All right, like the video, play the song.
The hell is a podcast? I mean, why don't you just tape it? What are you doing?
You don't have to tape it these days, Frank. You just record it right onto the computer.
Dead air.
Guys, this is back-to-back days. Thank you for 5,000 subs. Make sure you continue to like the video and sub and comment. Every like, every sub, every comment helps us continue to grow as we keep working and chipping away to be more and more in the algorithm. I mean, obviously, like this channel was built purely on ambition and purely on, me, Ron, and Q, and Tyler wanted to build a community, and we do that with you guys because it's like for each other, it's for us. So thank you again. Obviously, keep liking and sharing. It really means the world to me. And 4,000 subs feels crazy, but onward and upward. 5,000, here we come. Guys, this is back to.
He said 5,000 the first time, didn't he?
I thought he said 4,000, but maybe he confused me. I was like, this is our little mini break where I look somewhere. They have to look back like, hey, we're back.
We just crossed 4,000 subs in just under, a little over 3 months. We just crossed the 500,000 view mark the other day. Things are absolutely rolling over here at Dead Air Sports. We appreciate everybody tuning in. Make sure you smash that like button. It helps us a ton. Q, Ryan Day spoke to the media yesterday and had plenty to say. Of course, everybody wanted to talk about the injuries and lack thereof information around them. Would you like to fill in what Ryan Day had to share or what little he had to share?
Well, y'all know how Ryan Day is. So start with the press conference. He didn't really provide injury updates. You could have guessed that. That was not going to happen. Talking about Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith, but he said, I quote, "You can tell they're in good spirits. The medical staff is working hard, and we'll see how it goes day to day. They come in each day, and they're working hard and we'll try to get back on the field." So whatever you could have put in your mind, Ryan Day would say about the injuries, that's what he said.
Yeah, not much there. I saw a lot of people making a big deal about, I believe there was a follow-up question regarding whether or not that Carnell Tate had a setback, and he said he just didn't want to answer that and open up more speculation. So I've seen posts on Twitter, people saying that like Buckeye fans are delusional for thinking that Carnell's out for the year, like he's definitely going to be back, and people posting their engagements showing that Carnell Tate's like tweets saying that like I'm not done. Like I don't know why everyone's saying this. So I don't know what I don't think there's much to panic about around here. Even if he misses the Team Up North game, I feel like the Buckeyes can go in there and still try to find a way to win. And as long as everyone's healthy for this playoff run, I think that's what matters most. So it feels like the Buckeyes have learned their lesson from the JSN situation and how that potentially cost them a national championship, rushing him back. And I think they've learned from their mistake, and they're being as cautious as possible with Carnell.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I wouldn't guess he would miss the rest of the season without some level of serious injury. And I feel like if he had that serious injury, he wouldn't have just been on the sidelines like last week. Like he was suited up, wasn't ready to go, walked around a little bit on the sideline. Like I feel like he would have just either been back in the locker room or had something wrapped up or a brace on there if he actually suffered some other injury. So we'll see. Oh, you got some?
Oh, yeah. So there was also a clip floating around on the internet of Nico Iamaleva and Carnell Tate talking after the game. And Nico looked at Carnell kind of with like a smirk, like, "Are you good?" And Carnell goes, "Yeah, I'm good." So, like, I don't think it's anything that serious. Those guys go way back. Everybody knows how close that Tennessee recruitment came down to for Carnell Tate potentially going to play with Nico. So those are two guys that know each other. I don't think if anything was going on Carnell would have just smiled and let him know that he was fine. So I'm not overly concerned with the injury situation. I think it's a big opportunity to let these young guys play. We've talked in years past how much guys have grown from these opportunities when they're forced into action. Austin Sareveld last fall camp, when he had to play a ton of tackle due to injuries. We saw Luke Montgomery get time during the playoffs last year, now a serviceable starter. The Buckeyes find ways to get guys on the field, and it ends up paying dividends down the road. And as long as these guys are healthy for the playoff run, I think this is going to benefit the team.
I'm right with you. So, in more positive news, Ryan Tate talked about Matt Patricia and said how he has built a connection with the players and coaches this season, which has paid dividends for the Buckeyes and their defense. I quote, he was able to connect with everybody early on. He said that's how you have an early impact. That's how you build trust. There's one way to do that. That's to spend time with your guys, and that's what he's done. So, talking about Matt Patricia there. I don't think there was really any question of the connection. You could just see Matt Patricia with the guys before the game, and how excited he is on the sideline, Ron. But that's also positive news to think, hey, man, maybe he'll stick around for a bit.
Yeah, man. I said it the other day on our show when we talked about our Buckeye Christmas list. I said I want a Matt Patricia extension ASAP, and to know that if we were able to lock him up and know going into next season we're going to have our guy back after the performance that he's put up and the relationship and connections that he's built with this team, given how many guys that we have returning likely next year on this defense, I think that would be huge for the Buckeyes. And a national championship, do you think that would give him that much more of a reason to stay?
I don't think he has one right now. So a Super Bowl and a national championship as a DC. That's a nice little collection, causes something to tell your grandkids.
Yeah, you look around and see what's going on with Chip Kelly and the NFL right now. Maybe Matt Patricia's looking around like, hey, maybe I just have fun beating up on teams with the best roster in the country.
Yeah, he's like, look, be in the NFL for like 20 years, go have one of the best defenses of all time in the NFL, then go to college, have one of the best defenses of all time. Heck, he spent 20 years here, then go to high school, go have the best defense, and just keep working your way down. Pop Warner, best defense ever.
I know he's a defensive coordinator, but it doesn't hurt to have the greatest quarterback of all time on your team in the NFL. And it's like you come to Ohio State, and it's like, well, it doesn't hurt to have the best roster in the country while I'm out here trying to win games. Maybe he's enjoying himself in Columbus, and we get a few years out of Matty P.
Maybe he's making some additions to that best roster in the country. But we'll get to that later. Moving on, Ryan Day talked about something we're all worried about, the right guard position. It says Ryan Day said would probably want to keep it to two guys in the competition. At right guards between Tegra, Josh Padilla, and Gabe Van Sickle. Padilla has missed the past 2 games for the Buckeyes, but could return for the Rutgers game. Ron, we talked about the position a lot. I think Tegra had his best game probably against UCLA. Now it is against UCLA. Me and you might or might not be on that roster somewhere. Maybe we're redshirting right now. But Tegra has shown some promise. Out of these 3 guys, what 2 would you rather see right now?
I think I'm going to go with – we saw Tegra do it in a national championship run. It's like the narcotic that I can't quit. As much as I criticize him, it's like I think the highest ceiling is within Tegra. And then from there, I'm going to go with a healthy Josh Padilla just because that's the guy that they put in there first. We saw him struggle at times, but I feel like once they pare it down to just 2, these 2 will get it right. And it's about that time of the year. December is usually when Tegra kicks it into mode. So I'm anticipating him locking in within the next week or 2.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think Tegra has the ability to do it. I remember coming out of high school, he was the 3rd or 4th ranked tackle. I remember him being like a top 50 player coming out. So we know the talent is there. It's always just a focus on the discipline of the position. And again, offensive line takes longer for some for others. We see some guys really struggling. Like, I don't ever want to see him again. And then a year later, like, we love this guy. So it does work. You turn on and turn off some people. So we'll see if Tegra put together. But I'm with you with those.
I feel like we spent 90% of last season apologizing to Josh Fryer.
Well, hopefully we can put some Tyler Bone apologies in the end of this season. All right, moving on. Ryan talked about leadership. He said Ohio State has excellent leadership throughout the program, but certainly veterans like, and you'll know these names, Sonny Styles, Caden Curry, and Kenyatta Jackson, who will participate in senior day against Rutgers. I quote, you're seeing some really great leadership. When these guys speak, the guys around them listen. I think it's just a matter of the fact about this group. There's not a lot of drama. So leadership, we talked about how important it was. And obviously me and you have gone back with the flip of the energy in this program. And it's had a lot to do with since those guys have been here.
Yeah, Ryan Day, he's talked about it. There's been a cultural shift. Ryan Day has a type of guy that he likes to recruit, but they've also added I don't even know the word to describe it, but it's an attitude in the Woody that I feel like has been lacking on certain Ryan Day teams, and he's addressed it when he's talked about what Jermaine and Iggy add to it. But you see with just everybody being in this culture and having gone through the highs and lows of this program to ultimately make it to the mountaintop last year, but the standard that's been set by the guys before them and continued to be passed down, and you're about to lose a chunk of that veteran leadership and guys that have stayed the course and understand what it takes to be a Buckeye and have been through the program year in and year out. So to lose those guys, it's going to be a big loss if they end up leaving. To see them walk at senior day is going to be cool. I saw a lot of people commenting on the post about Tressel ringing the victory bell, and they're like, why the Rutgers game? And I'm like, senior day. It's the last game of the year at home. Like, why not? What better game to bring Tress back for the victory bell? So that's going to be a cool moment in Ohio Stadium on Saturday.
I agree. You can always get him back. So moving forward for talking about those seniors, Ryan Day on the Scratch Rutgers games, he has some extra energy. He said basically, Ron, quote, these guys ain't done it yet. They haven't gone to Indy. Nobody's played at Indy. He said, nobody on this team has been in Indy right now. They know it. We don't take anything for granted. We don't make any assumptions. Each week, every Saturday, an opportunity to go to Indianapolis is on the line. That's what it is right now. We want to get to Indy, and we haven't been there. So a lot of talk about Indianapolis. Marv never played there. We got a lot of guys coming through that never beat.
That's so crazy.
Never played Big Ten championship. I almost forget we have a Big Ten championship because Ohio State hasn't played in it so long. I'm like, doesn't the season just end and we go to the playoffs? No, there's a Big Ten championship to play. Ohio State's just not there. So, Ron, the focus is on Indianapolis right now. How important is it for Ohio State finally to get back to Indianapolis and go back to business as usual?
I feel like we're skipping a step. Because while no one's ever been to Indianapolis, you know what else no one on this team's ever done? Beat the team up north. And that happened before Indianapolis. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? I feel like we missed a step.
Maybe you clutch it at Rutgers against Rutgers. At least we'll make it Indianapolis. I don't know if we'll be team up north, but like we'll be in Indy.
Yeah, Q. I'm not thinking about Indy yet. I see Indiana fans on my timeline every day trying to make this a beef, a war, and it's like, I'm doing this with y'all. And I'm just waiting for. I want this game against Michigan. Their fans are starting to believe. They haven't stopped believing. Like they don't even have any. They don't have to give an explanation, and nor should they, because after last season, like you said, these rivalry games exist in a parallel universe, and I don't know how any Buckeye fan could be like, "Oh, well, we got the better team. We should win." We've had the better team and not won. Like I have, like I don't even know what type. I heard Juck talk about it. He's like, "How do you even give analysis on this game at this point? What's you're gonna break this game down, and then some craziness is just gonna go happen in the game, and you're just like, well, good thing I wasted an entire week breaking this thing down for what?"
Yeah, I agree. It's kind of funny. The only game you knew the buzzsaw was coming in was a Kerry Combs game. You're like, this defense ain't really that good, but we'll hope we can air it out and score enough points to win. Unfortunately,
we had already lost that season, so it was like, all right.
We ran into one of the bigger buzzsaws in college football the last couple of years, but every other game, I mean, give credit to the game. It's been exciting. It's been close. We haven't actually got the floor mopped with us, but you just feel like guys and coaches do uncharacteristic stuff when it comes to that week. I thought the biggest proponent in that was I'm happy we got 2 first-time coordinators, and hopefully our head coach lets our coordinators be our coordinators and don't step in, because it's like those guys are walking to the game like, Matt Patricia, I know this offense is terrible. This is Bryce Underwood guy. He's talented, but he's going to give me the ball at least 3 times. Like, we'll be fine. And Brian Hartline's like, it's my receiver room. Put some work into that. Let's air it out. Like, as long as we go and, do that and the guys are healthy, I feel comfortable. It's just Ryan Day. He can't get out his own way, and it's the test. I think for these seniors, for this team, this is the mental test after this week, and to see, hey, we are good, but can you get over this mental block hill that we've seen teams across the country not be able to get over? Ohio State is one of the main ones for that. Can they finally do it?
We shall see. We have one more game against Rutgers before we get that opportunity, and it's hard to even think about this Rutgers game in a serious way, because it's like, after we handle business, we have the 2 games that we've been waiting for. People have been saying we had a 3-game schedule, and we've been waiting for these last 2 since week 1. Q, anything else from the press conference you wanted to hit on?
No, that's a wrap, but we got more Buckeye news here. We're tackling the Buckeye stuff first. I think I set Ron up for failure. I left the Buckeye stuff first and the national stuff last, but it'll be fine. You got your Buckeye fix early. We got recruiting, Ron. We've been on fire.
We have been on fire. The Buckeyes land another recruit in 4-star linebacker Braxton Rembert.
Yeah.
Has flipped his commitment from Wake Forest to Ohio State. And Q, what is that, 9 flips we're up to?
I don't have the count, but it's been a lot. I've not seen the word flip in Ohio State in positive order in a while now. So having it go this way is definitely good. I was able to watch Braxton Rembert's tape. First of all, Ron, he plays at the same school Caleb Downs played in, so you can just measure the level of competition out there is really good in Georgia. But I will say this, Wake Forest linebacker, I think he's around the 500s. Go cut on his huddle. This kid is walking in, and I don't want to throw these names out here because we have the best linebacker duo we've had in a long time, but he is one of the clones of one of those. I'm not saying he's Arvell Reese.
He's 6'6", 200 pounds, so they're gonna he's gonna be standing next to Mickey Marotti for a solid year.
Yeah, trying to get right. He's got some weight to gain, but yeah, 6'6", 200 pounds. He moves really well. His speed is really good. He's basically kind of the jack Jim Knowles was always looking for that never came. That's what he kind of looks like. He lines up at edge a lot, lines up at linebacker, but he can run. He's a good football player. I think the thing is, can he put on the level of weight we need to? He's probably got to get to 240, 245, around that to play linebacker here. So can he get to that weight and keep the momentum he has, and obviously his speed and agility? I think that's the most important part. But I looked at it, I'm like, this is a really good prospect. Wake Forest is probably sitting there yeah, we got something. We get this kid in the weight room and he'll be fine. Next thing you know, wait, who called you? Shit.
Absolutely. Ryan Day said that they want to use senior film in their evaluation more. He said it's more about the players having success once they get to Ohio State and not necessarily winning on signing day. But if they keep stacking recruits, they're gonna have a 35-person class, and they're gonna have a top 5 class by default just by the numbers that they're adding. The Buckeyes also keep things rolling in the 2027 class. They add Brody McNeil. He's ranked as a top 5 interior offensive lineman in the class of 2027. Q. Did the Buckeyes rob a bank?
They must have had to. And I also feel like at this point right now, Ohio State, it feels like they're saving a little bit of money. And I know you're saying, we got all these flips. We got some high targets right now. It feels like Ohio State is going out there and saying, who out here really fits the mold? Who out here maybe isn't a top 5 player in the country, but has that body type, has that athleticism? Maybe they're not as polished right now, but has that. Let's bring those guys in and then save some money for when we need to go out and we need a big time tackle. We know we've missed it in the past, or we've gotten some that have worked out, or we need a big time cornerback, or we need a big time center. We can go out and transfer portal because it's about to be crazy and spend that money. And it feels like outside of that, it's let's get some developmental prospects that are going to be what Arvell Reese turned out. We're going to be what Carson Hinsman turned out. These guys who took a couple years and now they're in their own, and you pair them with the Caleb Downs you went out and got. You pair them with these transfer portal players. So it feels like Ohio State is playing this like, we're not going to spend the big money. We'll get a couple guys that we really want. We'll get the prospects we need to get, but we're going to spend the money in the transfer portal, and we're going to develop the guys we have.
Also, I mean, with the numbers that they're taking this freshman class, they must be gearing up for a decent amount of departures in the portal. So I feel like they're really reloading up on this roster. If you see a ton of seniors go paired with transfers of guys that haven't really got their opportunity, but are getting a little bit further along in their career that may look for an opportunity to play elsewhere. So Buckeyes really stacking numbers in this freshman class. Q, I wanted to pivot to a national conversation and get your thoughts on this clip that sounds oddly familiar to something that we've been saying around here for, I don't know, 3 weeks now.
Josh Pate said it. He tweeted, Marcel Reed, this is why I never gave up on your Heisman case. I'm so sick of quarterbacks being so fucking bad in the first half. And then we come back and they win a game. We say, well, Heisman moment. That was a Heisman. You're talking about the award for the best player in the country. And today, the first half of Marcel Reed was the worst player I've ever seen in college football. It was that bad. Marcel Reed had 2 interceptions, could have had 5 in the first half. He had a fumble for a touchdown. He was awful. They were awful. They don't have to answer to me. They don't. And Casey doesn't have to answer to me. They just have to survive and survive and survive. But it's hard to take that team seriously after that first half.
He must watch the show.
Or he watched the same game I did. That's what it would look like. I mean, you've been saying that for a while, but they were awful in the first half. And I'm happy these playoff rankings are out because I'm happy to see what they did with them. But it's like, yeah, he was absolutely awful in this first half. And it looks like people playing are being rewarded for having a bad first half and then make it look pretty in the second half and coming back against terrible teams. And we need to stop doing that. Again, LSU, they haven't played anybody. I will say it again because I keep hearing about Ohio State. They haven't played anyone. Me, Ron, Chris, Cam, Mike, grab a couple of other guys. We might have a chance against South Carolina. I'm not saying we're going to do it, but at least we might be in the game. I don't know. The way they turn the ball over and play, we might be able to last a quarter. Okay, not really. But they're not a good football team.
But Slippery Rock.
Slippery Rock. South Carolina's not a good football team. We all know that. And what did they do in the second half? Not look like a good football team. You know what they did in the first half to look like a decent football team? Got the ball a bunch of times because Texas A&M was like, here you go, because we're not consistent. So he saw the same game I did.
They were consistently turning the ball over.
I think Marcel Reed is a baller. I've seen him ball out, but he had a bad half, and I don't think he's up in the upper echelon with the Ty Simpsons when he's not turning the ball over, but he's been more consistent. And then, Mendoza and Julius Sand. He's just
I thought that was a great Fernando Mendoza impression, the arsonist firefighter. Go out here, set a fire during the first half, and then come be the hero in the second half and put it out. And I'm glad that the national media is starting to call it out for what it is. Your poor play has put your team in a position to make you look like a hero. If you didn't put your team in this position, you would have potentially had the opportunity to show the country why you're one of the best players. But instead, you were turning the ball over 2-3 times.
Yeah, and if you think about it, if that was any team but South Carolina and Arkansas, you lose that game. If that's LSU, you lose that game. And they're not a good football team. If that's Florida, you lose that game, and they're not a good football team. So they're blessed by their schedule. I think even if that's Texas, you lose that football game. So they're blessed by that schedule. But, yeah, I agree with him 100%. We got to start rewarding people for playing bad and setting themselves up to go beat in the second half 1AA West if you're a NCAA football head. Because that's who they were playing, basically. That team had no business on the field with them.
I wanted to pivot and take a look at the biggest games of the weekend. Any games jump out as must watch for you this weekend?
Yeah, I might steal yours, but I got to start at the top. I mean, USC, Oregon is a good challenge. I think Oregon's a good team. I think Dante Moore has played really well down the stretch here. I thought that was a big moment at Iowa where he got out of there with a win unscathed. But, I mean, me and you've talked about it. Lincoln Riley finally doesn't have a great defense, but finally has adapted to Big Ten play and is holding his own and has this state with such talent actually putting together a competent football team. So I think USC has a chance to go in here. We don't know what Oregon is, but we can watch the film, we can watch the games and say, I think they're solid, but USC will imply a challenge. So it's a good wake-up call for Oregon to see where they really are. Are they the third team in the Big Ten? Have they gotten better since that loss against Indiana, and see where they're really at in the big picture here? So I think this is Big Ten is on prime watch this week.
Yeah, I mean, do you see a scenario where if USC wins this game, Oregon is out of the playoffs?
No, I see a scenario where USC can maybe sneak their way in, but I don't see a scenario where Oregon is out. I think the Big Ten solidly has 3 right now. I think USC, Michigan are kind of on that edge where they're going to need a signature win to possibly get in because the Big 12 is so relevant this year. But I think they can definitely, with an Oregon win, and it's like at Oregon, can play themselves into the playoffs.
But what's the argument for Oregon to get into the playoffs if they win? I mean, if they were to lose this game to USC, if you look at Oregon's wins so far this season, they beat Montana State, Oklahoma State, Northwestern, Oregon State, Penn State, Rutgers, Wisconsin, Iowa, and Minnesota.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to have to be the best. I mean, you probably take that Iowa win as a solid win. I don't think they're going to have a big-time win, but I don't really think you need one just because of that Big Ten really on your chest. I think we all know a lot of teams haven't beaten anybody, and they're walking in. I mean, you can say the same for Notre Dame. They beat Pitt, okay? But they're going to easily skate their way into the playoffs. So I don't necessarily think you need that big-time signature win just because there's so few out there. I think – they could probably make an argument for their Penn State win, saying that Penn State team, the Penn State team we saw the following 3 weeks after we beat them, was different than the team that we played. So I think you can make an argument about that, and you say, I go to Iowa, we get a good time win. And if I'm arguing against teams like Utah and, I don't know, BYU and some of these fringe SEC teams, I think you have just as good as argument as anybody, even with a loss to a good USC team and the second-best team in the country.
Q, I'm looking at the rest of this list. I have already pulled up the master schedule. I hate to be this guy. This is an awful week of college football.
Ron, I've heard this before.
No, I mean, it's terrible. Texas A&M, big matchup against Samford. Number 13 Miami goes to Virginia Tech. Like, Q, I'm looking at this right now. You know how little interest there is in this game? You can get tickets for this Virginia Tech Miami game for $6.
Yeah, if I was home, I might try to go.
Oh, number 4 Georgia. They have a big matchup against Charlotte. Alabama plays Eastern Illinois. Notre Dame plays Syracuse. Like this is Arkansas, Texas. Like this week is garbage.
Yeah, I mean, this is the SEC off week. I mean, probably the best game. Oh, man, I don't even want to say the Tennessee-Florida game. I mean, maybe that Kentucky-Vanderbilt game. Kentucky finds a way to be in games that they shouldn't be in. So maybe that might be the best game of the weekend. I think definitely Georgia Tech, Pitt.
That's like a playoff game for both
Georgia
of these teams.
Yeah, Georgia Tech, Pitt is probably the game right now. You're looking at a USC, Oregon. I mean, outside of that, if you're looking at the Big 12, I mean, Cincinnati can trip up BYU here. I'm hoping they do because I've been, an honorary Utah Ute ever since I went to Utah.
To put it in perspective of how bad this slate is, there is a game involving Florida State that is allegedly one of the top games to watch this weekend. So there's clearly not 10 games worth watching this weekend. I wanted to circle back to number 3 at Pitt, Georgia Tech. This game would be a lot more exciting if Pitt didn't look so terrible against Notre Dame this past weekend.
That would have been more exciting if the coach didn't say they were going to lose 103-10 and then look terrible.
But he said he was going to take these games serious. So was he trying to lose by 100 and then he's going to go out like is it the old possum?
Yeah, maybe this was the rest Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith week for Pitt. Yeah, that's a good way to we're saving you for Georgia Tech because that's the must win, and we got to survive in advance at this point. I think Pitt's going to bring it this week. I think this will be a good game, obviously, at 3. I think they're in mode where they're like, hey, we shouldn't be in the playoffs. We can force our way in, and we got to beat Georgia Tech to do it. Georgia Tech, obviously, we saw lose to an NC State team where I don't know how that happened. And especially after watching them this past weekend, I'm like, what? That team? But okay. So, for the ACC, it's a good game.
Q, I wanted to get a message from the sponsors before we talk about. I'm blanking on what we're talking about next. We're going to talk about potential transfer portal quarterbacks next, but a message from the sponsors.
Guys, this is back-to-back days. Thank you for 5,000 subs. Make sure you continue to like the video and sub and comment. Every like, every sub, every comment helps us continue to grow as we keep working and chipping away to be more and more in the algorithm. Obviously, like, this channel was built purely on ambition and purely on, me, Ron, and Q, and Tyler wanted to build a community, and we do that with you guys because it's like for each other, it's for us. So thank you again. Obviously, keep liking and sharing. It really means the world to me. And 4,000 subs feels crazy, but onward and upward. 5,000, here we come.
The hell is a podcast? Why don't you just tape it? What are you doing?
You don't have to tape it these days, Frank. You just record it right onto the computer.
Dead air.
Q, a report from On3 came out yesterday that Arizona State star quarterback Sam Levitt's return to the program next year is doubtful. Obviously, one of the hottest young quarterbacks in the game right now. Q, this is right in your backyard. Your thoughts? You've seen this guy play in person, correct?
Yeah.
How big of a pickup would this be?
Unless Dillingham is out the door and he knows that now with all the job openings, I really don't understand this move by Sam Levitt. So, obviously, it's a good quarterback. I think he's more of a gamer and more of a college quarterback than maybe a pro prospect right now. And I only say that is because he makes a lot of great plays. And he does some dumb stuff. So it's a bit of that inconsistency. I'm a gunslinger. I'll turn the ball over and fumble when I don't need to. I'll throw that interception when I don't need to. I'll start the fire, and then I'll go put out the fire and make some great plays down the stretch. So, I think he fits this program perfectly. Obviously, he's been the guy. He's dealt with some injuries this season. But, I really don't understand it. I think Arizona State is really on the up and up right now. And again, we know how college football is. He might have people calling him right now saying, hey, Sam, I got $5 million for you. I need a quarterback next season. Our program has the prestige of the name, but you're also in a conference getting a lot of love right now from college football playoff. You just played in one last year, and you feel like the road for Arizona State is probably I don't want to say a lot easier, but easier than the road at a team who's going to pay him $5 million to come be his quarterback, because we feel like those are the teams that are desperate. He's not going to be – I'd be surprised, like the quarterback in Georgia next year. He's not going to be quarterback at Alabama next year. It's not going to be Ohio State next year. So, where would he go that's going to fill that void that'll be easier than really being at Arizona State?
Man, what if there was a major Big Ten university 90 minutes from his hometown?
Are you referring to Penn State?
No, he's from Oregon.
Yeah, I don't see it.
If Dante Moore goes to the draft, if Dante Moore balls out in the playoffs, has a good run here for these last couple games, it throws his name into the draft, do you see them needing a quarterback?
I think the levels of Dante Moore to Sam Levitt are it's going to be quite the drop off.
So what level program do you see him being a level up for? Is he a comparable, is he going to give comparable quarterback play as Carson Beck at Miami this year?
Yeah.
Carson Beck has had some bonehead type of games where it's like, what the hell are you doing out there?
I could see that without the first couple week Carson Becks where you're like, oh, he's back. I don't think Sam Levitt, and this is me playing in person. I've seen him play a few times. I think he's an absolute baller and makes plays. I just don't think he's as consistent right now to be up in the upper echelon of quarterbacks. And Dante Moore, Ron's number one guy. Dante Moore is going to be a top draft prospect. Sam Levitt right now, I could play in the league, but I think he's one of those, once you get to round 3, round 4, round 5, if he develops and continues this trajectory type guy. So I don't know if he's a program changer to like we're going to bring him in. He's going to go first round next year. I don't see that. I think Oregon could have basically the top transfer quarterback in the country. I don't know if Sam Levet is going to be that next year or the best option out there for Oregon. So that one I'd be a little bit like, okay, we'll see how this goes. But we'll see. I mean, Oregon has done great stuff at quarterback, and Dillingham has as well before he left. So that's why I'd be like, stay where you are.
So if you had to submit a final guess for potential teams?
It's a good question. I don't know who's actually searching right now. I don't think it's going to be Oregon. I can't give you a answer at the moment. But if I was advising Sam Levet, I'd be like, I would wait a little longer right now if you're making a decision and see what Arizona State is going to look like next year. I mean, the cost might be depleted or something. I don't know. I don't follow Arizona State like that. But I think he has a good thing at home right now.
Hey, just to add to this story, his brother and agent have both refuted this story by Pete Nakos, but we'll see how it plays out.
That doesn't mean anything.
Exactly. Q, I wanted to pivot to our last conversation of the show, and that is in regards to a highly disputed playoff spot that I think is going to be argued down to the final selection, and that's whether or not Notre Dame or Miami makes the playoffs.
Be in the field, we know they have to win the ACC to get in. How close is Miami and Notre Dame in terms of evaluation within the room?
I think when you look, Reese, at Notre Dame and Miami, we really compare the losses of those two teams. Miami has lost to two unranked teams. Notre Dame has lost to two teams that are ranked in our top 13. And so we really haven't compared those two teams. They haven't been in similar comparative pools to date. But Miami is creeping up into that range where they will be compared to Notre Dame if something happens above them.
Q.
Yes.
The one thing that they forgot to leave out about Notre Dame's loss.
Is this to Miami?
Why do we play the games?
This is a complicated topic, a little bit, because we've done this before. I think me and you, and I'm not going to speak for you, we'll both agree if they lined up today, Notre Dame has probably like a 70% chance of winning that game. I feel like they are the better team right now by far. The fact that I think Miami's going to lose another game this season will tell you that this is they play. Like I don't think they make out regular season. We have this conversation. I think the games do matter, but with 12 teams in, I'm gonna be like, if you are fighting for a playoff position, you are not worth being in the playoffs. I would say that. Not Notre Dame. Miami plays in the ACC. They should be in the top two of the ACC. They should not be fighting for their playoff lives right now with a loss to Houston. Like, at some point...
They don't have a loss to Houston.
Lost to SMU. I'm sorry. Same state. But lost to SMU. Like, at some point, we got to be for real. And yes, you did beat Notre Dame in a game where it was been 4.5 quarters. Notre Dame would have won. But make the playoffs. Play in the ACC championship. Like, we shouldn't be having this conversation because their play fell off a cliff because Mario, what did they say? When Texas A&M realized they were number 3, they're like, oh, yeah, you're right. We'll go blow out South Carolina. When Mario realized he was Mario and was like, oh, you're right. I got to fuck this team up. Like, it's the same thing. Like, I'm sorry. Don't secure the ACC championship and get a good seed. You want to have this argument. Notre Dame has lost to 2 teams, Miami at the beginning of the year and Texas A&M, who everybody vaunts. They're so good, their schedule doesn't matter. Ohio State's schedule matters, but Texas A&M doesn't. That's who they lost to in a game where their kicker dropped the ball, and that's how they lost. They didn't get blasted. They didn't get out-muscled. They lost with some fluky shit that probably wouldn't happen in the other 99 games that they played. So I'm not listening to this. I get why I play the game, but Notre Dame's better, and I'll put my money on that.
Yeah, you sold me. I'm starting to buy it. And you know why? You know what makes it easier? If it was any other team, I would have trouble buying that argument. And I'd be like, man, that team's getting screwed. But it's Miami, so fuck them. Like that's where I'm at right now. It's Miami. Who cares? Like you made the great point. Don't go lose to SMU. Don't go lose to Louisville. You're out here losing to bad teams. You're in an awful conference. You're not going to make your conference championship game, and you're out here begging and watching for teams to lose so you can get in. And then Notre Dame's gone out here and looked like a better team throughout the rest of the season. They lost close games to two teams that are projected to be playoff teams if you count Miami as a playoff team right now. And I guess that is an argument for them to be ahead of them. But at the end of the day, it's like, all right, you're going to have Miami fans screaming, well, why even schedule the game then if it's going to hurt us?
I mean,
they could have played another team in Florida. I think there's one or two left that they didn't play. Maybe.
There probably is a high school out there.
They have to play Chaminade.
Like, I mean, the only argument I would say for Miami would be if you're going to put Tulane in the playoffs, Miami should be in there somewhere because they would destroy Tulane. But if I'm not arguing against the non-power 4 team big in there, I'm certainly not saying Notre Dame, who I think right now probably playing at a top 5 level in the country, given what we've seen from Texas A&M, what we've seen from Alabama. Like, if it's not Ohio State, I'm good with betting Notre Dame really against anybody in the field right now because I think they could beat all of them except Ohio State. So Miami may have their beef. I'll have that beef with the non-power 4 or say play an ACC championship because if you do that, you're probably in. If you cannot make it to the ACC championship game with no team in there that's an actual contender to the national championship, you should not be in the playoffs.
I don't know how I top that. I mean, you've been cooking all show. I've been sleepwalking through the show, and thank God Q just threw me in the backpack and carried me for 45 minutes because you've been cooking all show, man. And like I initially came in with the argument of why even play the games, and then Q was like, well, that's why we play 10 other ones or 11 other ones after that too. So I mean, I think that's a fair point. In Miami not handling business, they only have themselves to blame for why they don't get in or why they don't have the seed that they have. And they can't just hang their hat on, well, we beat Notre Dame the first game of the year.
That's just all I'm saying. Be in the top 2 of the ACC, which is not hard to do.
Q, if people want to, well, that's all I have for the show. If people want to know where to get in touch with you, where can they do that?
I'm not hard to find, man. I'm Boy Quinn on Twitter. I'm Flying Johnson on Instagram. But most importantly, the Buckeye Roast is where I reside. So everybody here, thank you for 4,000 subs. All the members, all the people who are share pictures or in the community and are active. It means a lot. We greatly appreciate it. And Ron puts in a lot behind the scenes of this show. So I'm sure his spirits go up whenever that like button is hit. So make sure you hit that like button. If you have a chance, you got some guys out here who haven't, or some guys, ladies, children, elderly who haven't seen the show and need a good Buckeye show, let them know it's the Buckeye Roast right here on the Dead Air Sports Network. Again, like that video. And thanks to everybody. Ron, where can they find you at?
Q, they could find me sleeping 10 minutes after this show ends. I am so tired. I worked late. I went to sleep and then I woke up to do the show and I'm over here struggling. But if you want to find me, you can find me Monday through Friday right here for the Buckeye Roast here with my guy Q, 10 a.m. right here on the Dead Air Sports platform. You can catch me in the Bleacher Report app for instant reactions with Chris Drew after every Ohio State game in the Ohio State team stream. And you can catch me on Twitter at 2Ts. It's 2_TEES. Q, we just crossed the 4,000 subscriber mark here on Dead Air Sports. Chris Drew has been absolutely cooking. We have been going crazy. We've had the best numbers of any season we've had doing this show. So it's just been awesome watching the show grow. It's been awesome doing the show. It's not too much giggling.
Add a little more at the end.
Just add a few more at the end. But yes, a big thank you to our community. We couldn't thank you guys enough. And you know how this thing ends. It's always go Bucks. And of course, OH.
I-O.
I forgot to put the banner up.
Oh, good. OH and I-O.
Bullets is here. We get champagne. We own that.
fuck. When I hit the scene, everybody know me. 40 tucked in my skinny jeans. I'm so fucking low key. All hundreds, finna go get some cream. This another show week. It's a show week out the 7 days. I gotta pick up 40. Mama told me, baby, get you some sleep. Gotta turn down, move slow, please. I go home, rock my son to sleep. Gotta stay awake, get more of these. Nigga, you mad cause you ain't getting no cheese. Whole hood charge you whole fee. Sometimes there's no one to watch over me. Too broke, can't get close to me. Send an op, say hello to me. Never respect when approaching me. And don't act like you don't know it's me. Know that bitch somewhere close to me. And I ain't got no reason to be on that. You the one to avenge your homie. Even though I really be on that. Beat a nigga up if you want that. You can't even buy a whole lunch, Jack. Better get a clock and punch that. Used to run my hood like a rug rat. We went to war with one guy. Ain't lying, we'll go, they come back. All on defense, we bust back. So they want me whack. Had they shots out the back of the lat. I spit that shit that you get had to and make you want clap after that. Then drop some shit that make you contemplate on it after the fact. Rap about the shit you living, nigga, what happened to that? I don't give a fuck about the rap game no more, nigga, I'm after the check. I ain't with the rap beef, nigga say my name once, I'm after his neck. Reach for 150, I'm